But you did really, really well in high school.
Yeah.
Was that your first business? Your hair business?
Yeah, so I used to sell hair. Shout out to Ambitious Couture and
Right.
RP to her as well. That was my first child, is what I like to say.
Right.
I launched my first business at 15, literally just out of the spark of people asking me, "Oh, I like your hair. Where did you get it from?" And I just kept getting it over and over, and I'm like, hold on, I'm giving y'all
There's
the
something
plug
here.
for free. It's to the point I'm giving them the link to buy the same hair in my head. I was like, hold on, no, actually, let's take it back.
I can sell it to you.
Yeah, I can sell it to you. You know, this is how much it is. And I'm not gonna lie, that's exactly how it started. I did it to my cousin and it worked. And I was like, okay, so this actually works. So we're gonna keep doing
They
this.
will pay for this.
So I had the idea at 15. I launched at 16. Did really, really well. My first year, I believe I made like $10,000. And that was like in the
15.
middle of the year. That was even like from January to
So
December.
in like a 6-month span. Not
Yeah,
even barely.
I would just say in my first year, like whatever that, I think I
Calendar
started
year,
in,
yeah.
that calendar year. I think I started maybe March
Right.
2016. And I think by the time it was, December, I saw I made 10K. I was like, okay. And listen, I was 16 years old. 10K was a lot of money at that time. Listen, I was
like, what year is that?
Yeah.
Like, we talking.
That was
high
a couple years.
school.
Yeah, that was a couple
before
years.
pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID, okay, so the prices were good. Okay, when Ducks was $65.
You could
Come
get a
on,
good
people.
used car for that.
So I honestly did not use that money properly. I mean, I was 16 years old.
okay,
now. So
right.
all of that money went to Jay's, went to shopping. Yeah, and then I was like, okay, we're gonna try to get it together the next year. Unfortunately, it was senior year, so I still used all my money again, but I made more money. I believe I made around, if it wasn't 17,000 or maybe 20, I think I made almost double.
Wow.
The next year, and then I just kept going. I was just like, okay, I love what I do, and my business was all about empowering women through my beauty products. I didn't see it as something like you need this hair to feel beautiful. It was more of enhancing the natural beauty you already have.
Right.
So that was, the mission that I had behind my hair business. And it did really well. A lot of people, supported me not only just because of the quality of the hair, but because of me as well. Because they see, how I carried myself and the values that I had as a young adult, just trying to make it out here. So unfortunately, COVID happened, and that destructive monster just had to destroy everything.
Did his thing, yeah.
But I can honestly say that was probably one of the best things that did happen to me at that time, because I was too headstrong with my business. It became my identity to the point where you couldn't detach Ruth and my business. It was just
one thing.
And I am very spiritual as well. And, God revealed to me that I was making this as an idol. Like, yes, that was my God-given assignment and purpose, but this is not who you are in everything. Like, you can't just walk around like, I have a business, to everywhere you go, as if you don't have any other value to bring to people. So I feel like when COVID happened, it did struck me. I did struggle, when it came to starting it back, and I was really struggling to start it back. And I was just like, all right, God, you gave me this business idea. Why is it not working to just launch it again? But he was just like, no, your time is up. You didn't steward it right. And that's one thing about God. If you don't steward something well, he will take
it away from you.
He will bless you, but he can easily take it away as well. So don't get it that twisted. So I could say in that season, I just did a rediscovery of myself and just try to figure out who is Ruth outside of business. And, I did enjoy that journey because I really was able to identify who I am outside of me just being an entrepreneur. And I feel like that's very important because a lot of people run with their titles and use that as their leg up for everything. And it's just like some people want to buy into you, not your title. So if you don't know how to separate the two, then you become this robotic person that just, oh yeah, she's that entrepreneur, or she's that lawyer. You don't ever want to just be referred by your title. You're more than that. You have a name. Like, people should know you by your name, not by just your profession.
Yes.
So
let's go back to networking, right? Maybe you can give us some more in-depth tips and tricks and things that helped you out. Like, we know about vetting.
Yeah.
Right. I know for me, I'll get on Eventbrite, see what they got for the week, see what they got for the month, and then I'll probably attend one or two. Nothing really fruitful comes from those events. Maybe I'll meet one or two people, but I don't get much from just casually networking or going to Eventbrite events.
Yeah.
So like, can you give us some of the ways? Because every single event that you've been to that I've seen so far, I'm like, where is this? Like, what
And
is
you're not
going
the
on?
only person. Like
Right.
everyone always asks me as if I'm like, okay, guys, I'm like not understanding how you're not finding it, but I honestly I'm very intentional. Like I do a
Okay.
lot of things with intentionality. I use Eventbrite as well, but I did drop a gem in my ebook. That I mentioned Eventbrite is not your only go-to. I tell people that you need to be able to surround yourself with like-minded individuals and people doing what you aspire to do. And surround doesn't mean you need to physically do that. Sometimes you need to create it. So the way I create it is just by following people on Instagram that are business coaches, that are mentors, that are in event spaces, that are doing real estate investing in my
see.
market or in different markets.
Right.
So my Instagram is very much curated to how I want it. So when these people are hosting events or they get invited to speak on a panel because of their tenure or because of their experience, that's how I'm able to really find it. And because I've been watching them for a while or they're on my feed, I can see the consistency of their projects or what they're doing. So I was like, oh, of course, if you're having an event, I would love to go support that person. And I don't know who else I will meet in that room.
I
So
see.
that's how I'm able to find very valuable rooms, I would say. It's just by following the people that are in the industries that I like. So I think for me, social media is the one of the most powerful ways to find events. And that's how you can actually do your vetting as well. So
Okay.
I would say, start on socials. It's not a problem to follow family and friends, but I mean, family and friends are not going to take you where you want
Of
unless they
course.
are where you want to be. But if
Right,
they're
right.
not, then you need to create that
I see.
environment that you want. So if your whole Instagram is just people you went to high school with, then you're not gonna see nothing on your page.
Of course, doesn't
So
progression. Not
yeah,
too
not
much.
to say I
Yeah.
can't, congratulate you
Of
and
course.
happy birthday. That's great, but I need to get to the bag. So I'm going to follow people I want to
course.
see.
Yeah,
Like when
yeah.
I see your stuff, I see it. But
Right.
that's not what I use Instagram for. So it can be a negative tool, but I use it as a positive.
Because it's a tool.
Yeah, it's a tool.
So it's definitely I've made a lot of money using Instagram,
Yeah.
and I've met a lot of good people using Instagram. It's how you use it.
Yeah, it's how you use it, honestly. I mean, that's like a hammer. A hammer is there to nail something to a wall, but if you put it to a glass, it's going to break. So you're using the tool wrong. So I just feel like when it comes to social media, people weaponize it too much.
Okay.
And I'm just like, no, use it for your
How?
advantage.
Yeah, okay. I
That's
see.
the best way to be able to create that environment and be able to find quality people that are doing what you want to do. And that's in every industry. When I tell you it works for everything, I've done it for content creation, I've done it for real estate, and I do it for entrepreneurship. Those are like my 3 buckets. And I follow a lot of people in those areas, and they're usually hosting events because these are people that's been doing it before social media was even a thing. They just now have a platform to advertise that they're doing it.
Right.
So that's the best way to be able to find those events.
Like being a younger business owner, or like just for young entrepreneurs, right, who are, like you said, if you're around 10 millionaires, you're probably going to be the 11th millionaire.
Yeah.
Or just putting yourself in the best situation possible, right? Like, how feasible is it for, let's say, like a 21-year-old kid in North Miami who's power washing right now, who has a power washing business, right? And let's say that he wants to grow. How realistic is it for that young man to go and find a mentor in it, like, just as he is, right? Like, how realistic is that? Because that's a challenge that I face. Like for me, like I said, I looked for mentors. It took me a while
Yeah.
to find people who would teach me, and still those people weren't in the fields that I was in. So how do they do it, right? That
Yeah.
young guy, young girl who has nothing to do with this industry, whether it's real estate or business or whatever category they're in, how does that person go and find the millionaires and the successful people in their industry and properly network with them? Because you did say that you always have value, right? So how do you communicate that to the person that you want to mentor you?
Yeah. So I would say when it comes to looking for mentorship or just wanting to grow in general, you have to be able to know your goals. I think a lot of people get stuck at just doing a thing and not knowing why they're doing that specific thing. So for that example you gave of a young gentleman, power washing in North Miami. So if your contracts currently are probably residential properties, like, doing driveways or doing roofs and things of that sort, you have to ask yourself, okay, where do I see myself in 5 years? Like, am I still going to be doing these same things and just have multiple properties, or am I going to hire out a team? Do I want to go into commercial? Do I want to make it more global or more nationwide? Like, I think it's more of just like that strategizing and planning portion. People don't pay attention to that enough. They don't stress it enough. And then they find themselves doing the same thing over and over. So you're scaling at like a very incremental pace when it can just be shot up if you knew where you're going.
Right.
Like, you don't take your car and just start driving. Like,
Right.
you have directions, you have a destination. So I feel
Right.
like with your business, you need to know, what is your final destination with this? What is your exit strategy? What is your growth strategy?
I see.
So for someone that is in North Miami and, I'm born and raised here, I love the city of Miami, but unfortunately I do have one, comment when it comes about Miami. It is pretty hard to network here. That is why I am so intentional. I go so hard for it, because you do have to put a little bit more work here. Not to say that the people are not there, but because we are such a aesthetic environment, if you don't look like money, then it's kind of hard for you to be able to attract people that have the money.
Right.
Unfortunately, like, that is just the hard truth when it comes to some places. That it's not all areas.
Right.
But I would say for that gentleman, he would have to network with, people that are doing bigger projects. Like, I would say, if you're power washing, go around downtown and look at somebody probably doing a power washing like job for that day.
Right.
Most likely he's not the owner, but he can connect you to the owner.
Okay.
if he's willing to. And don't be scared or afraid for someone to tell you no, because you will have people tell you no. Obviously they're going to be like, who are you? But you just keep doing it.
Okay.
That's the thing. Like, you will get a yes
It's
sooner
persistence.
or later. Yes, you just have
Right.
to be persistent and consistent.
Right.
I think a lot of people get discouraged once you start hearing, oh no, I can't help you, or there's nothing I can offer you. You'll find somebody. Just like when it comes to looking for real estate properties, you can put in an offer and the seller can tell you no. That doesn't mean you don't buy another house. That don't mean you don't invest in the next property just because
Right.
that one person told, okay,
Right.
on to the next. There's other people that's doing it or selling another property that I want. So I think it's just more of going out there. I think people don't go out there and look for what they want. They expect it to just show up in their front doorstep. Or they
see.
just want it handed to them. And it's just like, certain things are just not handed to you. You have to go out there and look for it. And it is. Sometimes you're looking for a needle in a haystack.